Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on managing tax risks, audits, and litigations with AI. My name is Zhengxiao Ying, and I will be your speaker today. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Before we dive into the details, let me give you an overview of what we will be covering today. To begin with, in introduction, I will share a bit about my background and what our company, Algonomia, does. Next, we will look at the current challenges in tax risk management so we can clearly see where the main pain points are in existing workflows with tools like Excel. After that, I will introduce RSK Leaf's lifecycle-based risk management framework, showing how it can address these challenges systematically and help you manage tax risks with more control and efficiency. Then, we will explore how AI-enabled insights within RSK Leaf can further enhance this framework by bringing intelligent analysis and automation directly into your workflows. Following this, I will do a live demo so you can see exactly how RSK Leaf and its AI features work in practice. Finally, I will share what the next steps are for Algonomia, including what we are currently developing and what we plan to integrate into our platform in the future. And we will wrap up with a Q&A session to address any questions you may have. So let's get started. Once again, my name is Zhengxiao Ying, and I am a data scientist at Algonomia. I specialize in deploying AI technologies to make tax processes more efficient and easier to manage, as I have an experience in both transfer pricing and data science, having worked as a transfer pricing consultant at EY in Tokyo and as a data consultant at Orange in Paris. I also hold a master's degree in data science and business analytics from ESSEC Business School and Centrale Supélec in France. Now, let me quickly introduce what the company behind today's webinar, Algonomia, does. It's a French startup founded in 2017. Our mission is simple yet ambitious to give back control to tax departments through digitalization by leveraging SaaS solutions. What makes us different is our diverse team, bringing together experts in tax, mathematics, engineering, data science, and design. This mix of skills helps us create innovative, reliable, and user-friendly solutions that truly meet the needs of tax professionals. We've had the privilege of working with several large multinational companies, including Renault Group, Schneider Electric, Alstom, Engie, Epson, and many more. Additionally, we've partnered with leading firms like Deloitte and Fidel and have established academic partnerships with EDAC and EDHEC. Algonomia has also recently founded Open Tax Society, where we focus on building a comprehensive open source database for tax obligations across various jurisdictions around the world, with the help of both Gen AI and collaborators, including lawyers and tax specialists. At the heart of our offerings is the Leaf platform, which is designed to simplify the complex landscape of multinational tax compliance. Each Leaf, as you can see here on the platform, represents a specialized tax application that caters to specific client needs. For example, our PI2 Leaf helps manage Pillar 2 requirements, while the ATP Leaf simplified operational transfer pricing, and DTP for transfer pricing documentation automation. And our focus today, RSK Leaf, provides solutions for complicated tax risk management. Now that you know who we are and what we aim to achieve with you today, let's start by talking about the everyday reality behind tax risk. So chapter 1 will focus on the main points or challenges that keep tax teams up at night and set the stage for the solution we'll share next. You will see that these challenges are not just operational irritations, they directly impact compliance, workload, and audit readiness across tax teams. Let's take a closer look. So challenges of tax risk management start long before we begin consolidating workbooks or preparing reports, either using Excel or other solutions. We can think of these challenges in 3 layers. First, come the global rules with over 130 jurisdictions constantly updating regulations. Teams must manage rolling compliance with IFRIC 23 for uncertain tax treatment, while respecting local rules and IFRS bridges. Then is the difficulty to collect consistent entity-level data. Multinational structures involve numerous entities across multiple time zones, creating asynchronous data flows, mismatched reporting calendars, and reconciliation challenges. Last but not least, we face stakeholder demands. For example, headquarters require rolling forecasts, statutory auditors request clarity, and tax authorities expect defensible documentation and disclosures under RAS 12. And even if you just look at the first layer, global rules here, it is not just about ticking boxes. It's about ensuring each risk is correctly evaluated, grouped when appropriate, assessed using most likely amount or expected value calculations, and disclosed transparently as required by IFRIC 23 and IAS 12. So even a single risk can trigger probabilistic modeling, rolling reassessments, and additional disclosures. When you multiply this across, let's say, 20 entities scattered in 8 different time zones, the complexity expands quickly. That's the structural review. But what does this look in practice for tax teams on a typical day when they rely on tools not tailored for this complexity of tax management, like Excel? Let's bring this into a concrete scenario. Meet Ryan, a regional tax manager for EMEA. He manages 20 legal entities across 5 different time zones. Every quarter, he consolidates around 45 active tax risks into a single Excel workbook. Ryan needs to apply IFRIC 23 tests, comply with IAS 12 disclosures, and coordinate with headquarters, auditors, and the local controllers, often through lengthy email chains. Ryan's day is not unique. It represents the reality for many tax managers working under time pressure to meet both internal and external demands. Let's follow Ryan through a typical day in his Excel-based tax risk world to see where the friction points can be. In the morning, Ryan waits for Spain's transfer pricing exposure figures. Headquarters is reviewing the latest workbook in read-only mode, blocking his updates. Then at noon, he is facing multiple workbook versions circulating with V7, V8, V9_final, and inevitably V9_final_final. Ryan spends 45 minutes tracking down which is the right file when the French tax accrual suddenly goes missing before he can do anything else. Then in the afternoon, he finds that a macro meant to consolidate 38 local tabs fails because Poland's file is still open. Ryan has to manually unlock sheets, paste values, and rerun the macro, consuming precious time. Then finally, at 6 p.m., his day ends with resolving last-minute gaps before the workbook is sent to headquarters. As you can see, or you may even have experienced something similar yourself, what should be a structured process becomes a cycle of delays, duplicate efforts, and rework. The question is, what does this cost Ryan and his team beyond frustration? As a result, since Ryan's team manages tax risks using tools that are not built for this level of complexity, up to 35% of Ryan's month can be lost to coordination and rework that could otherwise be avoided. And each quarter, he has to spend 12 additional hours on manual consolidation. He has to deal with rolling forecasts that are always 2 weeks out of date with reduced decision value. Review memos may need to be rewritten several times before they are ready for sign-off, while late-night calls to resolve last-minute issues drain morale and focus across Ryan's team. These are not isolated inefficiencies. Rather, they are symptoms of a system that makes it difficult to manage tax risks proactively while ensuring full compliance. if these inefficiencies can be reduced, Ryan and his fellow tax specialists can focus more on analytical and strategic work that not only brings greater value to their organizations, but is also likely the kind of work they prefer to spend their time on. So the challenges Ryan is facing are the same ones we are constantly observing in the field. In fact, it was after a client already using our other leaf products shared these exact difficulties with us that we decided to develop RSK Leaf to address them. In this next chapter, I will show you how RSK Leaf's life cycle-based tax risk management framework is designed to address each of these challenges systematically, reducing inefficiency and improving oversight while maintaining full compliance. When we built RSK Leaf, the first requirement was to liberate tax managers from scattered spreadsheets. Instead of struggling with V7 final Excel files, users follow one lifecycle framework that contains 4 stages from identify to monitor, then to resolve, and at last archive, which keeps every risk visible, up to date, and audit ready. First, identify. With a single Create Risk button or through automated detection tests that flag issues as data flows in, any authorized user can record a risk the moment it surfaces. That immediacy wipes out the old frustration of waiting on numbers. Then, monitor. Once a risk is on the record, Live Dashboards lets you slice exposures by entity, year, or subject, and even capture a dated snapshot for quarter close reviews. In-app and email alerts notify the right people when estimates move or deadlines loom, ending the version chaos that creeps in when teams rely on manual lookups. Then resolve. As soon as monitoring surfaces something actionable, the risk moves into a role-based workflow. Contributors upload evidence, add comments, and complete data collection tasks on a structured summary sheet, while approvers validate updates. This disciplined flow closes last-minute gaps and prevents template drift across regions. Finally, archive. When a risk reaches its final status, either it's caused by a statute expired or it's manually closed, RSK Leaf logs the record into a read-only state with the same database. Historic versions remain fully searchable, so auditors never chase missing support documents ever again. By seamlessly connecting these 4 steps, RSK Leaf transforms fragmented Excel workbooks into a unified, proactive process. This allows tax teams to manage risks efficiently and confidently while maintaining compliance across all jurisdictions. To help you understand how we achieve this, let's look more closely at how RSK Leaf defines and organizes tax risks and procedures under the hood. RSK Leaf treats each tax risk as a structured living record, much like a notebook. Key identifiers such as entity, topic, and year of the triggering event are displayed clearly on the cover of the notebook, while each update becomes a new sheet added inside. Each sheet will contain important information, including update year, status change, related files, questionnaires filled by local tax teams, and also approvals or community notes from collaborators. Copies of related risks can then be grouped within a folder representing a larger procedure, such as an audit or litigation, to keep track of different topics and tasks involved in a linked and organized timeline. This method has several advantages. For example, updates can be made dynamically, triggered by events rather than waiting for periodic cycles, and the full history of each risk consisting of immutable updates through their life cycle is available at a glance, supporting audit readiness and internal transparency. These standardized templates across entities also simplify consolidation and reporting. Moreover, An action layer for tasks, approvals, and comments ensures collaboration is built directly into the process. By defining and managing tax risks, audits, and litigations in this structured way, RSK Leave helps teams maintain clarity, consistency, and control across jurisdictions and reporting periods. So we've seen how risks are captured and organized, but a strong framework also requires effective control mechanisms. As I mentioned here, how each update of a tax risk need to include collaborators notes. Let's explore more deeply how RSK Leaf's configurable workflow ensures the right person can take the right action at the right time. So RSK Leaf offers a role-based configurable workflow that aligns with users' operational structure. Normal users can create risks spontaneously, automatically based on tests or deadline breaches, or as part of procedures like audits. They can then collect and update information, defining entity, tax matter, and status while scheduling updates and running assessments. And finally, managers, that's users with higher level roles and more access rights, can analyze, monitor, and export risks, reviewing provisions, monitoring changes across parameters, and directly accessing risks based on their status or estimation. This workflow ensures that accountability is clear, updates happen in a timely manner, and data remains structured and reliable across your tax risk landscape. Next, let's see how all of these structured workflows come together visually and practically within RSK Leaf's integrated dashboards. So, RSK Leaf's integrated dashboards transform raw tax risk data into clear, actionable insights. You can see an instant group-wide view of exposures and provisions, slice and filter data by entity, tax type, year, or status, and drill down seamlessly into each risk's yearly updates, tasks, attached documents, and audit trail, which I will show you later in the live demo. The dashboards also simplify operations for users like Ryan. To begin with, RSK Leaf's dashboard supports complete ERP integration, allowing cross-source data analysis across the finance, tax, and operational systems. This means tax teams can consolidate and analyze data directly from their existing ERP feeds without relying on fragmented spreadsheets or manual extracts, ensuring consistency and saving time in preparing your risk dashboards. If data fields are missing, they can be highlighted automatically, and the relevant local tax controller is tagged for follow-up. And with a single click, users can export data and supporting documents into structured field packs for finance data teams or auditors. So by bringing together insight and oversight within a single interface, RSK Leaf enables tax teams to shift from reactive data gathering to proactive risk management. To illustrate this impact, let's revisit Ryan's Day, now using RSK Leaf. Here is how Ryan's Day transforms with RSK Leaf. At 9 a.m., the Spanish controller creates a risk update, and the entry is instantly saved, status stamped, and reflected on the group dashboard. By 11 a.m., Ryan is notified automatically if a transfer pricing provision breaches materiality thresholds, removing the need to manually pull data. At 1 p.m., built-in tests and alert flag issues, ensuring Ryan and headquarters can adjust them without delays. By 4 p.m., Ryan and HQ leave comments directly on the same risk card with each edit auto-versioned. No more hunting through v9_final_final Excel files. At 6 p.m., reports compile themselves, gap service within hours rather than weeks, and the right person is pinned directly in the platform. In short, RSK Leaf replaces slow, error-prone manual coordination with real-time, structured oversight, allowing Ryan and his team to complete more tasks in a day and to spend their time on more meaningful analysis rather than chasing files and emails. What does this shift mean in practical terms for Ryan and his team? Let's look at a clear before and after comparison. Previously, Ryan spent hours each quarter consolidating email sheets. Now, with RSK Leaf, data auto roll up into dashboards that refresh whenever a local user creates a risk update. Where there was once multiple competing versions of the same file, RSK Leaf maintains a single immutable risk ledger with time-stamped edits, eliminating confusion and reducing risk. Supporting documents once scattered across emails now travel with each risk entry and can be included in exports with a single click. And instead of manually searching for missing fields or hunting gaps, Ryan can check null columns directly in the dashboard that highlights gaps automatically, with responsible users tagged for follow-up. In essence, RSK Leaf transforms tax risk management into a continuous, integrated process, reducing inefficiencies while ensuring compliance and control. We have seen how RSK Leaf's structured framework can address the operational challenges in tax risk management, but there is another layer of value we can add. In the next chapter, I will show you how the AI component within RSK Leaf can enhance the framework even further, bring intelligent insights and automation into your daily workflow. So, as I said, RSK Leaf already offers clear advantages in tracking and managing tax risks across their lifecycle, but we understand that each user may have specific aspects of tax risks they want to monitor or analysis, whether it's focusing on provision amount estimation, audit deadlines, patterns across entities and years, or summarizing attached documents such as correspondence with external consultants and tax authorities. Manually generating these customized views and insights can be time-consuming and often unrealistic, especially when managing large portfolios. So this is where the AI component within RSK Leaf steps in. By leveraging our in-house large language model capabilities, we allow users to select exactly which attributes of a tax risk they want to focus on, ask targeted questions in plain language, and receive structured, clear insights directly within the platform. It's about empowering users to tailor their analysis and reporting to their unique needs without adding hours of manual work. Before we dive deeper into how these AI capabilities work day to day, it may be helpful to share how they were developed. The AI component within RSK Leaf did not start from scratch. It was built on Algonomia's track record of applying practical, domain-specific AI to tax management challenges. So at Algonomia, we have delivered the following AI solutions that address real-world needs in tax management. So first, we have document synthesis. For any document the user uploads to our platform, our in-house AI will generate a concise 100-word abstract in the user's preferred language, giving them a quick overview without opening, translating, and reading lengthy files. Then we have smart file tags. As documents are uploaded, the AI also automatically adds precise fiscal and financial tags, ensuring they surface easily during thin searches. Lastly, our recent project, Open Tax Calendar. To keep track of ever-changing tax regulations around the world, we launched this project to convert regulatory tax collected from different publicly available sources into an open-source structured data application database, allowing everyone to check tax obligations in different jurisdictions systematically and freely. To learn more about our past AI projects or just learn about Gen AI in general, You can search Algonomia on YouTube to find our past webinars or contact us directly on LinkedIn for slides and information. Anyway, building on this foundation, RSK Leaves AI offer what we call adaptive tax risk intelligence. Based on user demand, it can summarize any risk document into a multilingual brief, score, and provide insights to flag data-driven risk levels, and extract and structure key factors for instant analysis. Just as importantly, it is designed to continually expand its toolkit as user needs evolve. This means that the AI within RSK Leaf is not static. It grows with your requirements, whether you need better document synthesis, smarter tagging, or deeper data extraction for your tax risk analysis. All of this is made possible by leveraging Algonomia's know-how from past AI projects, ensuring that you receive within RSK Leaves is practical, reliable, and ready for immediate application in your workflows. Now you might be wondering, how does this AI actually work in practice on RSK Leaf when you have a specific question in mind to get insights on your tax risk data saved on our platform? So here, this is how it works. On the administrator or manager side, you have only 3 actions to take, grouped here in blue. First, you choose the risk details you want the AI to consider, such as status, provision amount, deadline date, or audit correspondence. Second, you type your question in plain language. For example, what is the next deadline requiring immediate action regarding VAT audit? Third, you select your desired output type, whether you want a date, a summary text in plain language or with bullet points, or a numerical figure. And behind the scenes, our prompt builder LLM, that is a large language model, transforms your question into a structured, optimized prompt, deciding whether to use chain of thought reasoning, extra knowledge, or direct answer generation. It then passes this generated prompt to our answer engine LLM, which generates a clear, user-friendly response based only on your governed RSK Leaf data. Then the answer eventually appears as a field in pinned data and as a column in dashboard that I will show you later in the live demo. And they can be filled by anyone with access rights and is ready to be exported as part of your workflow. So the benefit of this architecture is that you can obtain targeted, insightful answers without needing to learn prompt engineering or specialized AI commands. You may know how when using ChatGPT, you sometimes need to tweak your wording in the prompt and try multiple variations just to get the right answer you are looking for. But with the AI component in RSK Leaf, you don't need to go through that trial and error. The system takes care of prompt optimization for you, so you can simply ask your questions in plain language and receive a clear, reliable response. Besides, all queries are handled securely within a client-dedicated server, ensuring there is no risk of data leakage, like when compared to using proprietary AI models like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. And every AI-generated response is automatically recorded in a transparent audit trail, so you always have a clear, traceable record for governance and review. In the near future, we will also add options for users to rate or add comments to AI-generated responses so that the users' dedicated AI models get better results tailored for their needs. To illustrate what you can do with RSK Leaf, let's move on to some practical use cases. First, let's look at how RSK Leaf's AI can summarize the evolution of a risk across years for a quick reference. Consider there is a VAT audit risk. It triggered in 2018. Instead of manually searching through documents and entries to track its evolution, you can instruct RSK Leaf's AI to summarize the key developments by asking a simple question and selecting the relevant columns. And this question will then be converted to a prompt that is more precise and clear for AI interpretation. This part you won't see on the dashboard, but it's processed in our backend and will be sent to our answer engine LLM. So that LLM will then return a clear year-by-year a snapshot indicating when the risk was logged, relevant statute of limitation date, such as 31st December 2021 under Spain's General Tax Law, Article 66. So this kind of life cycle flash note helps you or your team grasp the full picture in a couple of seconds. Next, let's see how RSK Leaf's AI can function as a data quality gate. Imagine you want to check whether critical fields in your tax risk records are complete and internally consistent. For example, you might need to confirm that if a provision is recorded as yes, but then cash impact is not marked as no for the same entry. With RSK Leaf's AI, you can run this check instantly. The system will review the selected fields, and if any are missing or inconsistent with each other, it will flag them and return a clear list of issues for follow-up. So in this case, you can see that provision record is missing and the cash impact is no, but provision recorded is yes. So it's an inconsistent problem. This feature can also be used to identify discrepancies between your ERP system data and the data you find on RSK Leaf. So you can find the discrepancy, the inconsistency immediately and ensuring your tax risk data remains aligned and reliable within your group. Practical use case is checking provision gaps or any numeric gaps actually. Let's say you need to know the current under or over amount for a specific tax risk. With RSK Leaf's AI, you can prompt the system to subtract the provision amount recorded in the platform from the latest financial estimate available, returning the result number directly in euros or other currency. This also enables you to compare provisions recorded by the local responsible teams in RSK Leafs with provisions found in your ERP system to find out how big the gap is instantly. Finally, RSK Leafs AI can be used to support task tracking across risks requiring updates. You can prompt the AI to gather related tasks, contextual notes, deadlines from various sources, whether from internal memos, external advisor communications, or correspondence with tax authorities. When a risk status indicates an update is needed, the AI will return a structured source-based summary such as incoming internal file uploads, advisor memo deadlines, and tax authority response dates, helping your team manage and prioritize tasks efficiently while maintaining oversight across stakeholders. We also recognize that AI is not perfect, nor is it always necessary. That's why the AI components in RSK Leaf are designed with flexibility and versatility in mind. For example, you can configure a data quality gate right after ERP integration if it adds value. And if it's no longer needed, it can be removed without disrupting other elements on your dashboard. And as new requirements arise, new configurations can be created easily by simply choosing risk details, entering a requirement for a question, and selecting an output type, as we described before. So this ensures your AI workflows adapt to your evolving needs. And importantly, enabling these AI features does not add any extra cost to our clients. So far, we've explored how RSK Leaf and its AI capabilities can help you customize insights, automate analysis, and reduce manual workload in your tax risk management process. Now, to bring this to life, let's move into a live demo to show you exactly how these features work within RSK Leaf. So as you can see here, this is the landing page for our Leaf platform. And below, you can see on the leaves, you can see different leaves for different tax applications. For example, we have the ATP leaf here for operational transfer pricing, and we have CBC leaf for country-by-country reporting, and the PI2 leaf for Pillar 2 calculations, and also DTP leaf for automation of transfer pricing documentation. And also, of course, our main focus today, the RSK leaf, here written in risks for clarification. And before I show you what it looks like inside RSK leaf, I also want you to take a look at these three icons here, and also here, they are the same. So the first one, these are the shared functionalities across all applications on our platform, and they are mainly used to collect data and to help you define your workflow. So first, you have the tasks and processes is where you can assign tasks and distribute them to the right person in the right local team or headquarters for review. And you can also integrate those tasks into our processes so that it works with your existing workflow, or you can also use it to improve your workflow. Then in data collectors, you can define a set of questions, what we call questionnaires, to collect different aspects of data you are interested in. It can be a date, a number, it can be a qualitative question for text description, and it can also be documents or the whole table for anything you are interested in. And then in our document explorer, this is where you can upload your text documents, and then we will have AI to generate a synthesis and also to generate text to help you find them and classify those documents much more efficiently. And all these documents and also the AI component is saved in dedicated saver, so it's never provided to a third party. So now let's take a closer look at the RSK leaf. So right after I click into RSK leaf, here you will see is a list of all the different risk items. But before we go into details of the risk item, let's see on the top, you will see 5 icons. The 3 of them are already, you may already have remembered them from the landing page. So they are the tasks, processes, data collectors, and document explorer. So here, they specifically work for tax risk data collection. So you can assign tasks for getting information on audits or tax risks. You can collect different aspects of the information of a tax risk or audit. And then you can also support attach supporting documents for each risk. Now let's take a look, an example of what a risk item would look like in specific. So you can see that as we described it as a notebook, so here will be the cover for this tax risk. So it has 3 key identifiers, including the first one is the entity. Here we define it as a crossover between business unit and a jurisdiction or geographic location, but you can define it based on your group's needs. Second is a tax topic. So in this case, it's the corporate income tax, excluding transfer pricing and withholding tax. The third will be the year of triggering event. So in this case, it's the 2022. Then here is some metadata about this risk, including the last entry. That means its last update happens in 2023. And then the creation is when it's identified and opened for this tax risk in the same time, 2023. Then the deadline can be the deadline from tax authorities for audit purpose. Then let's also take a look at the timeline here. So this risk is the trigger event this risk is triggered in 2022, but it was identified in 2023, and thus you would need to have provisions. It will have a financial impact in the group from this year. So we will need to create entries with important information under this tab. see that 2024 and 2025 are empty because because maybe some the people may local tax teams may consider that the risk does not need to be updated. So we would consider, so if you need to export this risk in this year, like now in 2025, we will automatically consider the 2023 data are the most relevant, and we will present those data into your dashboard or your report. But you can also, depending on your company's internal policy, you can also enforce an annual or biannual updates, especially for like high value risk, and it's very flexible. It's totally possible to do that. So then here you can see a list of collaborators. So these are people either in the local teams to contribute to the data collection of the risk, or they are supervisors to validate the risk. And how to validate or update the status. So we can click here under the update status here. You will see this window where you can leave a comment, and you can also change the status. So the status is the same idea for our framework, but you can define the name for each stage based on the needs of your company. And then if you can validate them, and it will be sending to the first inspector for validation. And after the first inspector validated, it will be sent to the second one, or you can define these steps based on your internal policy. And for normal contributors, when they can also leave comments here. So you can see here some user it's a demo test data. So some users can leave a comment says, okay, I've finished. And then you can there are also system messages giving status update for this risk. And anyone who contribute and have the right access can leave a comment easily by clicking here. And they can also upload file that is relevant to this tax risk from upload file here. So, and it's also important, and it's also possible if you want to share this tax risk with someone within your group with the access rights. You can just copy sharing link, and they can open in their browser, and they will, if they have the right access, they will see this page. And if we go down a little bit, you will see the PIN data. The PIN data part, these are the fields that administrator or manager seems considered very important for this tax risk. So they are the important aspects, including risk, in this case, including risk estimate or some AI questions that I will introduce more later. Then on the right side, you will see is how the risk estimate has changed for this year. So there's a new 50 million euros new estimate this year, and so the total makes them, but at the beginning it's 0, so at total it makes them 50 million euros. And for this PIN data part, actually, if you go back to the risk lists, if you, for example, if I don't click in, but I check here, you can also see the PIN data here without going inside to the risk details item. So you can see the key information here directly. And here, these three are the AI generated response and the questions a manager may ask in this case, and their number can be adjusted, the question can be adjusted, and which I will show you later. So in this case, we have 3 questions. The first is is about the risk's evolution. The second is about is anything important missing or inconsistent. And so sometimes if the response is too long, you can click it and you will see. Okay, so in this case, it says it should be updated and it's very highly relevant and it has financial consequences, but the provision status is missing. So because it's high risk item, so it must have a recorded provision documented. So it's very easy to flag the errors or inconsistency in this case. And then you will also have what we need to do next on this risk. So you can check, you can also define the way our LLM, our language model AI, generate answer in what kind of style as you prefer. So after I close this, and then I would like to show you the dashboard that you can explore within RSK Leaf. So here you can see on the left side, you can see a comparison of tax risk estimates and provision for 2025, and it's split by jurisdiction, France, Germany, Italy, and the total. But I can also choose here business unit to see how this value change for different business units, and also you can see the details of different status, risk estimate, and provision. Either it's ongoing, latent, or ongoing tax audit, or ongoing tax litigation. And it's also possible to do a combination of both tax jurisdiction and business unit as you want. And you are also able to export this picture, save this as a picture to insert it in your report. And here on the right side will be an evolution of tax risk estimate in the current year. So in this case, in the opening, we have this amount of tax estimate, but in this year we have like newly added this amount, like more tax estimate, and so in total, currently at this point for 2025, you can see we have this much tax risk. Then here under the dashboard here, that you have a dashboard table that is the same list of tax risk object, and but so in a more structured format. And if you go to the right side, you will see the AI generated response are also used as columns here. For example, how has the risk evolution, anything important, if there's anything important or missing or inconsistent, and what we need to do, things like that. And here, for example, you can do a filter to consist inconsistency, for example. So now you will get this one result. You will see there is another one in top, but this one is actually just an aggregation. So it's just it includes all the information. So you can also, if you don't need it, we can also delete it easily. So here we have this, we can find this tax risk that has some inconsistency, and you can check the reason. And it's also possible to export it yes, you can also export it, and you can see you will have this in Excel file format. Now, because we added a filter, so there is only one with inconsistency, so you can see all this information that is presented in the dashboard that you can use directly in your workflow. So, and regarding how are these data collected, it's actually, let's go back to the dashboard, to the tax risk object. So here is actually, there is an update risk form that is a questionnaire for the local controllers to input information. And you can see different questions here in this questionnaire. For example, these questionnaires are all totally customizable, so you can design whatever questions you want. In this case, we have some like dummy data. In this case, we have a question about ask if the risk need to update. Then you can have the answer that is a multiple choice, and you can select one. You can design it for the user to be able to select one or more answer. Also, you can also make their answer specify the answer to be free text, and also it can be to select a date or select like a degree of risk relevance, or you can also ask them to input the data into the tables. For example, here the data will be used to calculate basis of the risk. So you have all these kind of questions that you can design. You can ask them to if it's recurring or non-recurring, if it's temporary or permanent. And of course, you can also ask the local tax teams to upload pertinent documents or their internal memos, or the information they get, the correspondence, memo, engagement letter with external advisor support. So these are all customizable. And then lastly, let's go to a bit of a configuration to see how actually you can customize what kind of AI response you want to generate in this case. So here, this is the pinned data part. So you can see these three AI generated answer are pinned here, but you can delete them, you can move them, you can add more as you want very easily. And then if you go down a little bit more, here is the configuration for AI for summary configuration. So this part is where, as you can see, the previous three questions that we showed in the pinned data. And then if you can type, you can create a new one here as well, but just by clicking this button. So here you can put your questions, what will we need to do next on this risk. And then you can select all different columns that you see that I showed you in the before in the questionnaire. For example, do you have to update the risk for the current year, or okay, you can select them, or you can select to see all internal memo and about the upload of documents. And this is the this is our whole demo. I hope it gives you a more clear vision of how actually RSK Leaf works and its AI components can be integrated into your workflow. Let's take a look at what we are heading next at. So at Algonomia, we are committed to continuously improving our products to align with evolving client needs and advances in technology. Currently, our pipeline uses on-object context processing single selected data fields to generate clear outputs, with the prompt builder refining your question before our LLM returns a structured response. This structured data then flows directly into your dashboards, ready for action. Looking ahead in the near future, we are exploring 360-degree context ingestion, allowing cross-object history, regulations, and nodes to enrich insights through techniques like retrieval augmented generation, RAG. We are also investigating agentic reasoning, and where an AI agent iterates on its own prompt, checks output quality, cite sources until their outputs are accurate enough for the tax risk management needs. Agentic AI has been a hot topic in the AI space over the past year. If it proves to add value for our clients, we aim to integrate these techniques into our products thoughtfully. For example, we are planning a dedicated webinar on how agentic AI can enhance our transfer pricing applications later this year. So please stay tuned if that's an area of interest for you. Technology is just one part of the picture. We also ground our current and future AI development in a clear set of principles. These 4 principles were originally presented in the context of our Open Tax Calendar project last month. It's an open source project to build tax obligation database, while today's focus is on client-oriented AI within RSK Leaf, but the core ideas remain the same, but with security and confidentiality as top priorities. First, ethical and sustainable AI use, ensuring that client data is handled responsibly with full confidentiality, transparency, and accuracy. Second, open source by design, meaning we leverage open source AI models that we can deploy securely on client dedicated servers, so your data is never processed by third parties. Third, collaborative by nature, so we work closely with clients to tailor AI solutions to specific needs and continuously improving based on their feedback. And finally, automation ready. So we provide clean, standardized outputs that integrate easily into your existing systems and workflows. These principles guide how we build and deploy AI with open source projects, and also within RSK AI, within RSK Leaf and other tax applications on our platform, ensuring it remains practical, secure, and genuinely useful for your day-to-day tax management. That concludes our prepared content for today.